Hey, I'm Emilio.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And welcome to the Terminally Online Pen Pals podcast.
We're two friends that have only ever met through the internet.
Join us as we talk about our lives in this epic show.
And the show starts now.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the TOPP.pod. Wait, that's our Instagram handle. You should follow us there. But it's the first episode of the Terminally Online Pen Pals podcast. No cold open because it's a new year and I couldn't think of a funny joke. Ryan's here.
New year, new us, guys. Welcome back to a new episode of the Terminally Online Pen Pals podcast. Like Emilio said, the very first episode of 2025. There's some great topics for you guys as always. Hope you guys had a happy holidays and a happy new year. This year, guys, if you were expecting the podcast quality to improve from last year, you were wrong. But we're still back
or
here
maybe
anyway.
You were right, because we have a camera now. At least I have on my end. Anyways,
I know what Santa brought Emilio this year. New camera.
Anyways, guys, welcome to a new episode. Maybe we can try and I just did like work and family stuff during the holiday break, but we can talk a bit about that. So Ryan, why don't you go ahead and tell us what's up with you?
So we got some interesting topics, I think, for this one, outside of our holiday events and some, personal things going on with us recently. I know I have a few things that I want to talk about before Emilio recaps the past few weeks of the holiday season. So, like Emilio, I spent a lot of my holiday season hanging out with some family members. We have a tradition every year where we decorate a tree, we have baked goods, we have a meal together, gifts, and all the traditional Christmas stuff. Didn't really do anything super exciting over the Christmas season, but I did spend some good time with some family members that were from out of town. And I definitely had a fun time over the holidays. New Year's as well. Didn't watch the ball drop this year, which is a tradition a lot of people still like to carry over to symbolize the new year. I do have, yes, this is our first house update of 2025. It's not the best house update, but it's a house update. So cue the intro, please.
I lost the keys.
House update!
That's really the update.
I'm going to go back down to the house tomorrow, and the whole house is going to be ransacked. Everything's empty. They took everything and the kitchen sink. No, guys, I have some bad news to report about the house update. Unfortunately,
it's been foreclosed.
It's foreclosed. The bank is repossessed it. It's owned by somebody else. I'm pretty sure Emilio or somebody else bought it. Maybe a viewer on the show. I don't want you living that close to me, but no, a big update about it is that it's the winter season right now in my area. The snow's been blowing fairly hard recently, and unfortunately I've discovered that the melting snow on the roof of the house has caused some pretty bad water damage in the kitchen, to the point where tiles have been falling recently within the past week. So now we have a repair that I have to do on the house, replacing some tiles and repairing some water damage. So unfortunately, guys, this is not a positive house update. This is a slight setback, but it is something that we will persevere through. And this is the slightly depressing house update for this episode. I am sorry to those of you who are disappointed to hear the negative news.
Way to kill the mood of 2025. This year's gonna suck. I'm sorry,
guys, but I look, we've made a lot of good progress. I've talked about it a lot here. It's a big deal because this is my first big house I'm moving into later in the year. But this stuff happens. I do have one other update I want to share from something recently that came up, and I know Emilio has seen this because I posted it on Instagram. I teased this to him before. I got my second official tattoo, actually, about a week ago now. It'll be a week tomorrow at the time of recording. And this one was more of an interesting experience than my first one. If you guys can tell from the video version, it's still in the healing process right now, but this is definitely the largest tattoo that I've gotten. If you can tell from the video, or if you check out the social media, this is a Pokemon themed tattoo. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. This is actually one I've been wanting to get for a long time now. It's very well detailed. Yeah, I went back to the same studio who worked on my Final Fantasy VII Meteor tattoo I talked about many episodes ago. The differences with this one, it was pretty much the exact same procedure I described in that episode. The difference is because of how big and detailed this tattoo is, because it's based off a character from Pokemon.
I was gonna say, how long did it take?
6 hours is how long it took me. 6 entire hours of sitting in the chair, getting it done, multiple needles, multiple colors, and it took quite a while to do. The funny thing is, the needles weren't the worst part about the experience, because I went and sat in a chair in the studio, they worked on it, and they did an incredible job as always. This tattoo cost me around $300 to get done, but it was still pretty cool, actually. I really like how this thing turned out. But the worst part about the experience wasn't the needles, it was sitting in the chair. There's a common thing with people who get tattoos for long periods of time. When you are laying or sitting in a chair for hours on end, you might get used to the needle like I did, but you lose circulation to your legs, your tailbone, and a number of other things, and your lower extremities, to the point where I had to take multiple breaks just to get feeling back in my body.
Potassium. Anyways.
I should have just brought like a few bananas in with me and, let the potassium do its thing. But I didn't consume any food, which I should have. I drank a lot of water, though, because that was a long process.
Was drinking a lot of water a good idea? What happens if you had to pee, or was peeing an excuse to just move around?
Actually, that's a tattoo tip that I didn't know. Apparently, because of the trauma to your skin, when you have larger tattoos that are done, when the needle is going into your epidermis or the upper layer of your skin, your body is suffering a lot of damage or shock that you don't realize, and you lose a lot of electrolytes and fluid that you don't realize. So you dehydrate fairly quickly. And it's a good idea to drink like a Gatorade or water or something before you get the tattoo done, which I was not initially aware of, because the first one I ever had was only about an hour. This one was 6 hours. So I had to pound fluid throughout the experience. Jesus. It was a lot, to be honest, but I love how it turned out. I have a permanent reminder of one of my favorite series and a character I like. And yeah, I finally have my second tattoo. So that was something else that I had done throughout the holiday season. The difference is this one was permanent. So, but that's basically the gist of everything I've been up to the past little while. Emilio, thank you. Did you do anything exciting over the holiday season? Since Santa obviously didn't visit you because, you're Scrooge and all that, how did you celebrate Christmas?
Well, guys, this was me and my family, we don't really care about Christmas, except this year, for some reason, the magic of Christmas and marketing came together to bring holiday spirit to my family.
Hallmark movies, yes.
Hell yeah. I went back to my small town from my big job at the big business, and I fell in love on Christmas. Yeah,
this
guys.
is like a fucking Hallmark movie set up right off the bat, man.
No,
like every Hallmark movie.
I mean, it was the first time I cooked Christmas dinner all on my own. I made a turkey. It's the third time I make a turkey in my life. That's actually an anecdote I've never talked about on this podcast. That one time we took a turkey to school, me and my friends, like a full ass turkey. That's an anecdote for a different time, maybe Thanksgiving special.
Yeah.
Whatever. Me and my sister, we made a gingerbread house. We did the whole shebang. So yeah, it was a very Christmassy Christmas.
That's very epic.
And for New Year's, I made pizzas and yeah, not as grand for. I didn't make a whole ass turkey. The reason I was kind of hesitant for doing a turkey is because there's only 3 people that live in my house. So for a whole week, we just ate turkey. And it got pretty boring after a while.
I mean, yeah, eating the same food for a while can get pretty repetitive. That's why it's kind of nice to have a variety spread, because holidays are known for that. People make a lot of different food.
Yeah, I mean, I even got like a smaller turkey. It was just 8 pounds, which is not big. Like normally they're 10 pounds-ish.
Yeah. I mean, that's still a decent-sized turkey, though, for like a small house of people, though.
Yeah, 10, 12 pounds is the norm. That's the one I cooked, the one I took to school one day. But that's a different anecdote. Subscribe if you want to hear the turkey anecdote.
Follow the pod.
I did another real. I haven't talked about it on the show this either. I'm returning to the land of the free, guys. I can feel the freedom in my veins. I am going to the States. I am going to.
That's right.
I'm going to a bunch of different places. I'm unfortunately not going to Rhinesville, Pennsylvania.
Unfortunately not. No.
It is an incredibly remote place. I'm not even joking. When Ryan told me like the precise location, I was like, yeah, so it's going to be an extra $200 if I try to go.
That's the thing. Emilio and I talked about this over the holiday season, and we mentioned this in a recording where we didn't end up uploading. But Emilio mentioned to me that he was going on a tour, essentially, of different states here in the U.S. along the East Coast. And he initially asked me, what would be a good spot for us to meet up near my airport? So I sent him the local town that I live by. And then as soon as I sent it to him, Emilio was Googling it. I assume you went on Google Maps or looked it up online.
Yeah.
The next message he sends me is, so I'm going to be real with you. This ain't happening, man.
No.
This is too much money. This is way too far out of the way.
Like, I looked at hotels, bus tickets, and it was just way too much money. It was actually at one point cheaper to stay in Philadelphia and take a bus to Rhinesville. Like, that's how freaking horrible it is. So, like, I would just stay in Philadelphia, then take a 5-hour bus, film an hour-long podcast, and then have to drive another 5 hours back to Philly.
I can see us doing that, then.
So, no, guys, it is not happening.
Unfortunately.
Currently, the plan is just to visit Atlanta, Nashville, Orlando, Milwaukee, and New York City. Like, guys, I just want you to like consider this when I'm saying that Rhinesville is a remote place. I'm not exaggerating. It was cheaper to me. Remote. It was cheaper for me to fly to Wisconsin from Florida to visit my family than to visit Rhinesville.
Come on, though. It's not that remote, okay? It's a little ways away from some major cities. You know, it's within a few hours.
Pittsburgh is 5 hours away.
I'm trying here, man. I'm trying to make this Top Pod reunion happen.
Unfortunately, it will not happen. Sorry,
unfortunately, not this time. However, guys, on the other end of the spectrum, the dream is not dead yet. Now that Emilio has the ability to come to the U.S. currently, we will potentially be able to meet in the future someday.
Nah, dude, I'm changing the rules, man. Now it has to happen here in Mexico. I'm not planning, after this trip, I'm not planning to go to the States again, guys. I'm going to vent about this. I forgot how expensive it was to travel to the United States. Like, Airbnb, Uber, everything there is so expensive. Holy crap.
It depends on what we're looking at here price-wise. Obviously, I don't know the prices of things in Mexico, but I can tell you in the U.S., there are some things here that are vastly inflated. The economy is not in the best shape by any means. There are a lot of products, stores, restaurants, whatever, that do cost a lot of money, I'm willing to admit. However, you're rich, though. I mean, that's why we have the Ko-fi, right? People can donate to the Ko-fi.
Anyways, guys, sorry for that. Instagram decided to crash, and so did Firefox. That was pretty cool, except if cool was a synonym for shit. But we're back. We're back. But yeah, traveling to the States is expensive. And I kind of have to, like, not spend that much money because the last part of the tour is New York City, which is notoriously expensive.
Yeah. So, pretty much everything from the food to the hotels to the Uber, taxi, whatever, it's going to be pricey. So I recommend definitely save your money for New York especially. Very pricey. In other news as well, guys.
Oh, and finally, hold on. Even bigger news. Well, I don't know. Actually, I'm a bit more excited for the America tour. But I finally got my college degree. I know we talked about it in the previous episode, how you can graduate college, but that doesn't mean you have your degree.
Finally graduated.
So I finally have my bachelor's degree in communication sciences. This is great, guys. Great news. I am
Very
finally
epic, buddy.
with this podcast is only people with a degree.
Exactly.
So
Although
pretty
I
cool.
have 3 degrees, actually.
But
so.
getting a degree in America, dude,
I mean,
is like kindergarten, dude. You don't even
It's
you just
not
have to show
kindergarten.
up,
You know how much
man.
effort it takes to get fucking master's degree, man, which I have, by the way.
Step 1, show up, parentheses, optional.
Holy
and we're
shit,
done,
doing
man.
no, I'm gonna refute that entirely. Do you know how much stuff I had to do for that master's degree, man?
Show
All
up.
the work I had to do for my teaching degree. Showing up is just 1/4 of the entire
But
thing. I had
do you have
classes
to
I
do a
had to do,
thesis?
an internship that I had to do, teaching classes I had to do, evaluations I had to do, classes on top of that from the university I had to do.
Oh,
I was
cool.
busy
A normal
24/7.
degree. That's it.
That's not a normal degree. It's a specialized. For all of the American viewers, at least out there, you understand if you have a higher level degree, like a master's degree, all the work that it takes. And this incompetent piece of poo over here doesn't understand what it takes.
That sounds like a normal degree here, except you didn't even have
No,
to do
it's not a
Did you
normal
even have to do a thesis defense?
A what?
Like here, if you get a master's degree or a PhD, you have to do a thesis defense.
Oh no, you only have to do that here for a doctorate, not for a master's degree. I will not have you undermine my master's degree, Emilio. It was a hard-earned
Sounds like a
achievement.
bachelor's degree in Mexico.
That is not a bachelor's degree. Anyway, screwing him aside for undermining my degree and success and how hard it is to earn these higher level degrees, I had something interesting.
The
I
only
wanted to touch
difference
on.
was the price.
Sure, yeah, actually, I'll give him that one. The price is the big difference. That's one thing I can't argue with. The lack of effort he's saying.
Parentheses, I've been looking into doing a master's degree,
Yeah.
and when I look at the prices in like America and Europe, I'm like, Jesus Christ! I think
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
gonna
shit ton of
not
money. I'm
do
not
it.
gonna lie. That's one thing I didn't like about the degree. I'm glad I have it. It's outside of a doctorate, it's the highest level degree you can obtain, but the cost is ridiculous. The cost of mine was as much as my bachelor's degree, which might be good, might be bad depending on the program, but it's still pricey, and that says a lot. There was something interesting I wanted to touch on, and this is big national news right now, and at least concerning the U.S. I'm not a huge fan of the social media in question, and Emilio probably already knows what I'm going to mention. TikTok, the world famous social media platform used by many people, is officially banned here in the United States. This is recent news that has come up. I just saw articles on it posted today,
today
where the U.S. Senate reaffirmed the ban on TikTok.
The Supreme Court voted today. Was
Yep.
a 9-0 decision.
Yeah, so people, they didn't like TikTok clearly, and I
Yeah.
can't blame them in some ways. I was never a huge TikTok user myself.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with everybody. Coming from an outsider perspective, this is like the dumbest. Like, why did they do this? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, in my opinion, as someone whose job is in social media, the most harmful, I think, social media site right now, it's like, dude, I don't even know. It could be like a battle between Twitter and all the Meta properties, like, for real. I think it's definitely a political move. Sort of.
I would agree. Actually,
if you like the Cold War, you're gonna hate the Cold War too. Because we all know it's this weird, it's this sort of a dick measuring competition between China and the States, and it's it definitely makes no sense. I think
no,
it's just really stupid,
anyway.
Especially like, I mean, considering all of the major issues facing American society, like we just mentioned, like inflation. Like, banning TikTok won't make milk cheaper.
Yeah. So forget the failing economy or the political issues. Let's just ban a popular social media here in the States and just make it illegal to use.
Yeah.
So.
But what I found interesting is that this sort of TikTok ban in the States have given rise to, it has made other Chinese apps rise within the ranks at the App Store.
Of course.
More noticeably, more noticeably Red Note. I
Yeah.
downloaded it. It's really strange to use. I'm not used to the UI. But today, actually, my friend, we had like an assignment at work, and whilst we were sort of on our way there, I told him about the app, and he downloaded, and he won't stop using the app.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Red Note, fun app. I don't think it will last. Like I
Probably
don't think
not.
it'll have the same power as TikTok.
No.
But yeah, it's gonna be like an interesting thing, sort of to follow how this TikTok ban develops. Obviously, like it doesn't mean that like if I send Ryan a TikTok video, he's gonna get sent to prison. It just means
No, nothing
that
like that. But
the app won't see any more support for like updates, so it'll slowly
no.
become like a bit slower, and
Mhm.
you won't get like the new
Like
features.
new updates or
Yeah, yeah.
reels or whatever. You won't get updated with new videos. I mean, the whole TikTok ban in general, TikTok is obviously a very popular social media. Again, I never personally got into it, but I knew of a lot of people who did use it for many reasons. They made their own content. They were entertained by a lot of videos they would watch on there. As far as the whole banning thing goes, I don't know what the official reason stated is. I don't really think it matters
National
ultimately
security.
because okay, national security probably okay. So let's be real here for a second. TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and a lot of other social medias are owned by Google, which is within the States. TikTok is owned by a company in China, which is
ByteDance.
overseas. So I don't know if that's much of a coincidence or not, but if it's a reason of national security, I don't care if it's owned by a foreign company or not. You're banning a social media where people do freaking old Vine compilations and freaking Among Us memes, if that's even still a thing.
I think you're
So
talking
I don't
about
see the
YouTube.
you know what? That could be any social media at
Yeah,
this point. Dead means it's going to be a trend. But the banning of TikTok, whether it's national security or whatever the reason is, I don't see the purpose in banning an entire social media. Obviously, every social media has its own risk. You know, you have leaks, harassment, whatever. But TikTok didn't need to be banned to avoid an issue of national security or whatever else. It's just a fun app where people can make entertaining videos or stupid videos, depending on the person. But I just don't. I think the whole thing's unnecessary. You could have kept TikTok around and wouldn't really have been much of an issue.
activism and journalism over on TikTok compared
Sure.
to Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially now that, well, we all know what Elon Musk has made Twitter to be, and Mark
Or
Zuckerberg
X.
recently came out to say that they're going to adopt a lot of the new Twitter policies, and so it's
Oh,
going to
great.
be 4 years of just uh, 4 years of like 4 years. I think that will completely change American politics. So it's going to be interesting,
Well,
especially because it was kind of a bipartisan decision, right? Because like we literally saw all of the Supreme Court justices be like, sure, because like 9-0,
Yeah. It's like, nah, fam. We're
that's
not keeping
unanimous.
TikTok around here. That's getting out of here.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna hit TikTok a lot because there's still a bunch of other places where it's still available,
I
like
mean,
where I
yeah.
live. I
I mean, millions of
mean,
people still gonna use it.
yeah. So like, I don't think it affects it as much as like when it got banned in India, right? Because that's a billion people you miss out on.
Oh yeah,
So
but like,
yeah, what do you think, man?
it's definitely interesting news, all things considered. I do agree with Emilio. I'm curious to see what it's going to be like going forward, not just for people trying to supplement TikTok with other programs or apps to try and get their entertainment fix, but if they're willing to ban TikTok for not really clear reasons, the development of other social medias going forward with their new policies, and if they're going to do it with TikTok, this could be a pretty bad precedent for other things. Like, what if they decide to ban other social medias, maybe make drastic changes to a lot of popular media or companies or whatever else? You know, if a company like TikTok or an app like TikTok could get banned that easily, especially with a 9-0 vote in the Supreme Court, who knows what else the future is going to look like. So it'll be interesting to track as time goes on. We'll have to see how that
As
develops.
for our TikTok account, you can follow it at. No, I'm just kidding. I have been
But we know about the
questioning.
social stuff.
I have been questioning. Well, what do we do with the freaking like? Okay, we have like 3 followers, but there's no point to keep posting on it because like the target of audience for this show is mainly English speakers, and the biggest English speaking countries being taken out of the platform.
So to our 3 followers on TikTok,
I'm sorry.
maybe consider following the Instagram or something.
Yeah, also
Maybe use something along those lines.
I even thought, well, there's this new Red Note app. There's a lot of Americans now, but also like if like it's YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can listen to this show and rate us 5 stars and follow us.
Yes.
They are banned in China, so there's literally no winning, dude. Like,
Unfortunately, not. We'll have to take what we can get. But fortunately, guys, we do have a ton of other social medias that you can follow us on. Not
like
TikTok
Kofi.
anymore, but
Kofi's never
Kofi.
getting banned, guys.
we got the Ko-fi, we got the Instagram, we have Spotify and other streaming platforms. We even have YouTube for the video version that you guys can check out. All of the other content.
By the way, guys, the show is still not over. Like we're still not done.
No, it's just, we're just doing like some self promotion here and there. You know,
it's like a mid-roll ad, but for us. But yeah, that's crazy, Ryan. That's pretty freaking bananas, this TikTok ban.
It is.
I don't know. I already followed like most of my favorite TikTok creators on Instagram and on Red Note. There's Blue Sky. That's a new social media that is really cool.
Wow, that's really cool. Blue Sky is also the name of an animation company that produces.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Blue Sky.
I guess that's why they got to call
anymore. I don't think so.
I guess that's why they got to call the app Blue Sky because, like, well, nobody's using the name.
Yeah, so it was like we may as well. It's the name of a dead film company, so may as well just kind of yoink.
Yeah.
Take it.
But yeah, time to start using YouTube Shorts. To all the 3 people that use YouTube Shorts, nice to meet you.
Well, actually, a good amount of people, number-wise, if we're talking about that, because we didn't really talk about how well the YouTube channel did, like last year for as long as we had it running. The YouTube channel actually, in some ways, did a lot better than Spotify. I know we talked about our Spotify Wrapped in the last episode of the show, but we didn't really talk about YouTube a ton. View-wise, on the Shorts content and the videos, which I've checked on, actually aren't doing too bad for a channel our size.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another thing. Like on my personal channel, Smelly Cheese, you can follow it. Great videos. I don't know why most of I started posting like my TikTok videos on YouTube Shorts, and they got a lot of views as well on YouTube Shorts. But I don't understand why. Like I know like I have one friend that uses YouTube Shorts, and I doubt that he watched my video 10,000 times. Like, who the fuck is watching YouTube Shorts?
It's a convenient short video to watch. People like convenience and access. If it's a good video,
do you watch from YouTube a show Shorts? Or something.
I've scrolled through YouTube Shorts in the past. I mean, the thing is, when you watch videos on YouTube, you get recommended not just videos from that creator or whatever, but you get recommended Shorts videos from like that particular topic or content or whatever. And it's convenient to check out. And a lot of people like that. Not only is it convenient to check out the Shorts content, but it can be good advertising for your channel, because if they like the clip of, say, a podcast episode, they'll check out the channel potentially. You know, I've never really created many YouTube Shorts just because I like full-blown videos more, but that's just me. A lot of people still do watch YouTube Shorts, and the numbers on even the channel, like the Top Pod, has proven that. Because we have some good viewed shorts here and there. I think the top one we had was from the Olympic. It was a clip of the Olympics from one of our earlier ones that hit like over 5K views.
The problem with vertical video, the way we consume it in most apps, is that there is not a lot of ways to generate engagement or generate community. I think that's a better way of saying it, because
community. Yeah.
You can have a ton of followers on TikTok. You can generate a ton of views on YouTube Shorts. But that it like people kind of forget
it doesn't really
you.
Lead to people subscribing and sticking around. Yeah.
Which is what's different on YouTube. YouTube and Twitch are all about that. Like that's why I think they're more successful, I guess, in video content, because they generate that community and they bring people back.
Exactly.
I mean, me personally, the way I consume YouTube is mainly on the TV or on my computer. Like, I barely use it on my phone, to be honest.
So Emilio's turning into a boomer slowly as time goes on.
I mean, just YouTube. Just YouTube. Everything else.
Yeah, just YouTube. Okay, see, but it only starts with YouTube, and then it goes to Netflix, Amazon Prime, any kind of streaming platform that you're using right now. You're eventually just gonna watch it on your laptop or your TV.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like, why would I watch something that was shot in 4K in my tiny ass screen on my phone? That's a great argument, Ryan.
Again, that's.
I mean,
I can't believe we actually had a good point on that for about technology.
Also because the UI for TikTok and Instagram and Twitter on the computer fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so awful.
That's the other half too. The quality is kind of shit on your laptop.
It's obviously designed for your phone.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of experienced that, like, shift in technology. Like, and I kind of agree with Emilio. I've been watching, there's a Netflix series I've been following recently and some movies I've checked out here and there. But when I compare it to watching on my phone compared to watching on my 70-some, 80-some inch flat screen that I have at the house I'm moving into, it's like a small home theater setup. I would rather watch it on that than my phone. You know, it's better for the picture quality, the audio. It's like everything is like a million times better than watching on your phone. So I'm not saying that the digital age is moving away from cell phones because it's pretty convenient to watch. But if you want a better experience, you're going to stick toward like your TV or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Or it's just like part of the feel of going to the movie theater.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, Ryan. Lastly, we're going to discuss something here at the end. Sonic 3! I know it's a great shift, but Ryan, I watched it last week, and so did Ryan.
I also watched Sonic 3.
And I sent him a meme, and he said, dude, that's actually a pretty good movie. So Ryan, did you like the movie?
I actually did enjoy Sonic 3, believe it or not. This wasn't a movie I was initially... Okay, here's my thing with Sonic. I've never been the biggest Sonic fan.
Furries. Are you actually Dr. Robotnik? I mean, you hate furries... You have a postgraduate degree. I'm starting to. I can draw more comparisons, man, and I'm only gonna get more suspicious.
We're both bald, have facial hair. You know, I just need some kind of like animal antagonist to ruin my evil plans to take over the world, and I'm good. I'm basically Dr. Robotnik already. But no, I enjoyed Sonic 3. So my thing again with Sonic, I'm not the biggest Sonic fan, and originally around Christmas is when I went and saw it. I do a celebration with some good friends of mine. My best friend I've known for over 20 years. We do a Christmas celebration every year where we go and we hang out, we exchange gifts and all that. And the one thing he wanted to do when we went to hang out is he wanted to go watch Sonic 3. So it was me, his fiance, and my friends, we all went and watched Sonic 3 together.
Damn.
In the theater. And it was actually a good movie. I really enjoyed the experience. I never saw the second one. First one was decent. What I liked the most about Sonic 3, the voice acting was good. I liked Keanu Reeves. Jim Carrey did a good job as Robotnik, given the fact he played two different versions of the character. Story was decent, recreating some stuff from the games. I like the characters like Knuckles and Robotnik were the standouts. Idris Elba did an amazing job voicing Knuckles. Storyline
was the voice decent, of Knuckles in the English version?
It was Idris Elba, yeah. Damn. The guy who plays Heimdall in he's been in a few movies like Hobbs and Shaw. He plays Heimdall in the Marvel movies.
If you don't know who Idris Elba is like, you guys gotta like reconsider what you're doing with your life.
Oh, he's a top-notch actor, but he voices Knuckles and does a fantastic job.
That's pretty cool.
The story was pretty rushed. The dialogue came off as kind of trippy at points. I mean, it wasn't the best plot in the world at all, but the voice direction was good. Yeah, I know, but still. I mean, the visual animation was cool. Like, overall, despite a few issues.
Shout out to the special effects team on this one.
Actually, the special effects were pretty impressive for a lot of points. Dude, I was actually pretty impressed.
Okay, we're going to talk about spoilers, but honestly, fuck you guys if you haven't watched it. Like,
the movie's been out for a while. It's also fucking Sonic. I mean, what else do you expect? It's not an in-depth story to begin with.
The scene where Jim Carrey dances with Jim Carrey, that was so cool.
I loved that scene. Me and my friend burst out laughing the minute we saw it.
Yeah.
I still think it's a missed opportunity to not play the song Dancing With Myself.
Yeah.
Because they even make a fourth wall joke reference where it's like, it's almost as if we're playing the same actor playing two different characters in the same movie. So Dancing With Myself would have been an amazing song to have during the whole dancing scene.
You're right.
But it had a lot.
should have directed that movie.
I should have. See, I even suggested that. My friend's like, you know what? That would actually fit that scene pretty well. But it was entertaining regardless. I did enjoy the movie. Honestly, there were some good standout characters. The visuals were nice. The story wasn't the biggest draw. You know, it was pretty fast-paced. The dialogue wasn't really that great. Another standout voice actor was Keanu Reeves as Shadow, which I honestly didn't expect. I don't know a ton about Sonic, but when I heard Keanu Reeves was voicing Shadow, that was another reason to kind of check out the movie, because I do enjoy Reeves as an actor. And I think for the character, for that dark, edgy tone he was going for, he did pretty well. I would have liked to have seen more development earlier in the movie, maybe some more scenes with actually facing off against Sonic, but that was kind of rushed toward the end there where they reconcile. But Reeves did a good job voice acting. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and spoiler alert too, guys, Shadow does
Sonic
survive
dies.
the big boom boom explosion at the end.
Sonic is pregnant.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, no, me neither. I wasn't. I'm not pregnant either. No, I'm also not the biggest Sonic fan in the sense that I've never played one of the Sonic games. I was raised in a Super Mario Brothers household.
Peace.
So I didn't know anything about the character, and then my friend told me about this really weird double feature called Sonic Ferratu. So you watch Sonic 3 and Nosferatu on the same day. Right? So I did that, but I hadn't watched any of the Sonic movies, so I watched the first two, and I liked them. Like, I honestly like the first one more than the second one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I generally liked both of them, so I was like, maybe I like Sonic 3, and I did. I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was pretty funny. I think if this came out when I was the target audience, I would have become a Sonic fan more than a Mario fan.
Right.
But yeah, I actually do want to play the Sonic games. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm sure there's an emulator. I mean, a completely legal way of playing these games.
Yeah, that doesn't involve doing anything sketchy or in a gray area fashion. I mean, I'm going to go on record here and say, in terms of animated video game movies, I still think the Super Mario Brothers movie was better than the Sonic movie. But Sonic as a franchise, because it has 3 movies and a spin-off show with Knuckles currently, is doing better than expected. And that says a lot for video game adaptations. And for what it is, it's actually worth watching. Yeah. Believe it or not.
I liked it a lot. I saw the post-credit scenes. I didn't understand. But my friend was very excited, so maybe, Sonic 4 will be epic. I mean, it was kind of crazy because, actually, I want to complain about the Spanish dubbing because, the guy that voices Sonic is a popular YouTuber, but it's pretty obvious that he is not a voice actor. So it's, pretty shitty dubbing, to be honest. And, fun fact, I learned this today. The guy that does the voice for Robotnik in the Spanish version also does the voice of Goku in the Spanish version. So, fun little trivia there.
I mean, he has a lot of experience, at least. Popular anime, Dragon Ball.
And
I think for the voice of, the voice of Sonic in the American version is an actor by the name of Ben Schwartz.
Yeah, it's Ben Schwartz. I love that guy. He was in Parks and Rec, After Party.
He's been in a lot of shows and musicals, actually. He's a good actor. And he's been the voice actor of Sonic since 2019, 2018. Not just in the movies, but he's also shown up in, I think he's the main voice of Sonic now in, the games.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. But yeah, I like the English version better, to be honest. And Sonic Ferratu, check it out. It was kind of weird because the only showing of Nosferatu was at 9 p.m. So I left the theater at midnight. I was like, dude, I'm opening the fridge and I'm picking up all the garlic we have there. I ain't fucking around, man. I see some crazy shit. But no,
some people probably did that.
Nosferatu is pretty cool. You should check it out, guys. As well. I mean, if you have kids, maybe just take them to see Sonic, leave them at home, and then come back to watch
the kids
Nosferatu.
watch Sonic and you go watch Nosferatu.
I mean, you can watch both. I don't care, but don't let your kids watch Nosferatu because that'll mess them up. Well, yeah. I think here you have to be over 18 to watch that movie.
Yeah, it sounds bad,
Sonic,
actually.
that is. You have to be over 18 to watch Sonic, actually. Yeah. Anyways, guys, tell us, please, in the comments, did you like Sonic? Did you like Nosferatu?
Are you a furry?
Why am I Sonic and Ryan is Nosferatu? Let it all in the comments below. Now,
I rated Emilio on his letterbox account, so that's good start.
like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Spotify. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a freaking review. We love getting 5 stars, much like Sonic 3. And you can,
Even though neither of us gave Sonic 3 a 5-star review. So.
give us a better review than Sonic 3,
Yes.
please.
Which means it has to be 3 stars or above, at least.
And you can also follow us on Instagram. Don't worry about TikTok. But
No.
you can follow us on Instagram at TOPP.POD. That's at top.pod. To stay updated with new episodes and just to, see what we're up to.
Sure. Absolutely. And thank you guys once again for checking out the first episode of 2025. I'll have more amazing content for you guys throughout the year. And stay tuned. Check out all the socials. Check out the video version. And stay tuned for more epic content with myself and Emilio, a.k.a. Nosferatu Cosplayer 6969. His ex account, not mine.
Bye.
See you, everyone.